will find anybody, any corporate, anybody. You can be good, bad, or indifferent, and they will put you in the car and build a narrative, sometimes not an accurate or a truthful narrative.
Okay.
On anything. On anything. A question is.
Question is.
Type it have we been fed multiple narratives over the past few years, or even decades, by the media that have been untrue? Media narrative.
Have we been fed what?
Multiple narratives on multiple fronts. Crime in America, UFOs, racist presidents.
Right.
Racist presidents. Whom we have now in the office we have one Joseph Biden, who honored Robert Byrd. We got to call her. Go ahead, caller. Good morning. How you doing? That was quick. How you doing this morning? Hey, Sister Babe.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Diane?
Hear you back here.
Good. We glad you're here. We started off talking about mental health and some things that are taking place. We don't want to waste your time. Tell us one of the things that you're going to be launching at the particular place where you serve in ministry and how it helps us in our mental health perspectives.
We're going to do Celebrate Recovery. It's a step-by-step recovery support group. It starts Friday, June the 11th at 11 o'clock at the St. Luke Primitive Baptist Church. Our senior pastor is Pastor Nicholas Patterson. It's at 135 Lewis Street, Nashville, Tennessee, 37210. And the good part about this Celebrate Recovery is not just a recovery for folk in addiction. People think that recovery means addiction. Mental health, we deal with mental health. You can come, lay your stuff on the table, and we'll talk about it. We have biblical base, it's faith-based, biblical base, so that we can help people learn how to deal with mental health, learn how to deal with grief, learning how to live life on life terms without substance abuse, without drugs, without medication.
Hold on. We understand that. Now we need a phone number that we can give our listening audience. They can contact somebody if they want to participate, contribute, or need help.
615-596-4893.
615-596-4893. 4893. This is a celebration of recovery, celebrating recovery, recovering from addiction, mental health, and whatever else you want to say you're recovering from or going through. This church and this group will help you do it. And this is St.
Luke Primitive Baptist Church,
right here in Nashville. Nashville's own.
Thank you, Elder Diane. All right. Love you.
All right.
That's right. We're just talking about who do you call, what do you call. It is workers in the field that are out there helping.
Now hold on, but I'm concerned.
Okay. All right.
If I got an issue, a mental issue, or something I'm going through, and I want to talk to somebody about it, maybe I don't want to talk about it in a large setting. I need individual communicating. Maybe I'm hoping they can contact the elder about, because some people don't like to talk about the issue.
I do understand.
And
that's myself and Pastor Hill were talking this morning about something.
Okay, yeah. I don't want anybody to talk about me when I tell you that my foot is big on one side and the other, and I tell you, it's got me trouble, and I tell you, then everybody knows about it. They say, well, he's got one big foot and one small foot.
And then some. Is it possible to not know some of the mental health situations are not diagnosed.
Correct.
We'll take it for one thing, but it's another.
Okay. Speaking of another thing,
Okay.
today's program brought to you by Cash for Junk Cars.
Get cash
Cash today.
And that vehicle hauled away.
What's that number?
615-480-6473. 615-480-6473. Get cash today.
And that
vehicle
hauled away.
Hauled away.
Call in today's program at 615-242-7760. We start out the program talking about mental health. And it could be depression, mental health, depression, or drug addiction.
Right.
As a matter of fact, on the front page of the paper that I brought in, this is mother loses son to overdose.
Okay.
Warns an impact of pandemic. I think he was, okay, she's saying, I think he was honestly trying to numb that feeling of being isolated. I guess numb the feeling of, we stayed home. We stayed home a lot. And, a lot of people stayed home, didn't go outside, didn't socialize, didn't go out to eat, didn't go to school, you name it. And so that I'm sure people are still suffering from that or recovering from
and
that.
Some people
right now.
had families, and that could be good or bad, because all of them were in the house, and then some that really, like you say, not married, already kind of like a bachelor, and then it would cut, but
right.
Right. So you got different people, different phases, going through different things, different jobs. You know what I'm saying? And it's life, and we have to learn to deal with life.
We have a commenter. We thank God
Okay.
for our commenter who's coming in by way of YouTube. Says she watches Rachel Maddox on The View, MSNBC.
Oh, wow.
CNN.
Wow.
So I know Larry's going to have a certain rebuttal by the fact that CNN has been mentioned. But she also says she watched Tucker Carlson rarely.
Okay. Rarely?
Just rarely, Larry, rarely.
Wow.
Some of us can only do Tucker for a minute. You understand.
Okay.
You understand.
Okay. Paris, you need to call in 615-242-7760. I know you got something to talk about and something to say. I know you got something to say. Look, if you don't watch Tucker Carlson, you in my humble opinion.
I caught.
I saw. It's just. Listen, if you're not watching Tucker's show.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker's show. Tucker's got two shows. They got one the daytime, one the night. If you're not watching Tucker, I believe that you're doing yourself a disservice.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that. I'm being serious.
Okay.
Tucker gives quite a bit of real good information, and whoever comes on the show, doesn't matter what, whether Republican or Democrat or in between, he doesn't pull any punches. He's no respecter of party.
May I ask a question when you get to
Absolutely, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How do we do that? But what was her comment? She said she doesn't.
She just says how she said.
Okay.
And hopefully, Shirley, you can call in 615-242-7760. You can call in. Now, let's back up just quickly. Let's walk down history's avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Black Wall Street was bombed and attacked, and it's something we're just now finding out about. And I'm saying it.
Just not finding out about it.
I'm talking about as far as putting it in the social media, mainstream America.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just being talked.
Yeah, it's been. I ain't never heard of it. Right. In all of my years, like that was never something I heard about. Period.
Really?
Recently.
Tulsa.
Yeah, I mean, the Gap Band, and then when people ask the Gap Band what's Greenwood, and I learned through that. But as far as it being put on a national, it was never.
No one to hear people.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So the mayor, what do they want from this mayor? Like, there's a group pushing some type of reparation case, but we're talking about a mayor who really has nothing to do with what happened 100 years ago.
Right.
So, I mean, the pressure that, like, the media.
Yeah.
What is the media doing with this, and how are they spinning this idea? I mean, what do you want from this man? I mean, even if I'm saying it, even if his great granddaddy was part of it, I mean, what do you want from this man, Larry? So, I mean, they put him in some like a hot seat to do what?
Right.
I mean, he apologized, and that's the first step.
What
are we doing?
Hold on. this is my position, and I live on this right now. I live on this. We can't wait for the politicians to do anything. It's time for if we want some real, we got to come back. We got to come together and do it ourselves. You can't wait. I'm not talking about no violence, none of that nonsense like that. Because it's America. We got to come together as a people with a common goal and a common purpose and a common philosophy to do something. We can't wait for the government or sleepy Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, who just now went down to the border. She's supposed to be the border czar, and ain't never been to the border. And we got on a plane yesterday and had to get right back off. Come on, man. I'm sorry. My point is, Ron. My point is, I'll be brief. I'm gonna close it up. Right. We have to do it ourselves. What? If you wait for reparations, you forget about it. It's not happening. Not going to happen. That's nonsense. We got to come together. We got to be our own reparations. We got to get our own. Let's get about creating or building our own reparations.
Definitely don't depend on anything.
No. And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Put in the work.
Real quick. Go ahead. And what about CTR, guys? CTR. Canadians, come on. Give me something on CTR.
CTR.
Critical race theory. In the classroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where am I on the critical race theory?
Come on. Yes.
First of all, let's start out it's just theory. It's theory.
Okay.
It's theory.
All right.
Critical race theory is going to be a hot topic because the lens in which one looks at it through is going to tailor his or her idea around it.
Okay.
And if you show me, let me say this, if you show me 16 hours of Black Panther movies and the assassination of King and the race riots of the 60s and Black Wall Street, if you show me, and you show me Mississippi burning, if you show me all of that as a neutral person before those 16 hours, there's a great possibility after all of that indoctrination, I'm going to feel a certain way about a certain group of people that have been dehumanized, and I will probably have a heightened sense of anger to the individuals.
You would be, if you're not angry, you'll be easily aggravated.
Oh my God!
Very easily aggravated. But hold on. But here's where we're at. And I'm sorry, that's great. And all those. Hold on. Now I have been privileged to have seen all those videos and documents and everything. I've seen them all. I've seen them all. What Cornelius was referencing. But guess what, Ron? Hold on. And you guys being you two guys, luckily I'm here with two guys of the faith. And so luckily you guys can probably shine a better light on people and the grace of people operating or living in grace. Because nobody, I mean, even though none of us lived in those times, our ancestors are the ancestors of those who were on the other side of the fence. We're kind of detached, but we don't, so.
It's always a real remnant, we would say.
It's a remnant.
That's out there. Critical race theory is an academic movement of civil rights scholars and activists in the United States who seek to critically examine the law as it intersects with issues of race and to challenge mainstream liberal approaches to racial justice. But I was going to ask y'all one thing. Did y'all hear about the story in the NFL whereas they were suing for concussion?
Right.
And they, when examining our Black people, this is the way I heard it, they put them at a lower part of the scale of what they required, so a lot of them didn't get compensated because the level that they started. You didn't hear that? Okay.
I did. Yeah, no, I did. It's big on Twitter talking about that there's been some discrepancies in just that alone.
Okay.
And that plays into race. And as Larry always says, and this is Larry's word, and it's something.
Norming.
Yeah. Right out the media. And we are media.
Right.
race baiting. Is everything we do going to be about race?
Yeah, but look, you talking.
I'm just saying.
You talk about the story.
I'm just saying.
You talking about that story in particular, Ron.
What about it?
The media, how's the media carrying it?
It's portraying that the African American players have not gotten a fair share
of the concussion protocol
procedures.
Yeah. NFL to halt. This is ESPN.com. NFL to halt race norming. That's what they call it. Reviews black claims in $1 billion concussion settlement.
But what is race norming?
Okay.
Because of race putting you at a specific level
of protocol. This is the protocol for
the practice had made it harder for black players to show a deficit and qualify for an award. The standards were designed in medicine in the 1990s in hopes of offering a more appropriate treatment to dementia patients.
Okay, all right, I got you. Okay, we'll come back.
It's working two ways on different sides.
Okay, Ron, you defined.
Are we on critical race theory or race?
Critical race theory. Critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
But Ron defined it and who was and how they were looking at it, or who was looking at that.
Okay.
As scholars and such. Okay, now here in the House bill in the state of Texas, they approved the banning of critical race theory.
Okay.
All right, but the House bill says it's called 3979, doesn't mention critical race theory by name, but apparently aims to ban the quasi-Marxist ideology in public and enrollment, on open enrollment. Okay, so it's Marxist ideology because what happened? They call it critical race theory a Marxist ideology. Well, I think you're teaching one group to hate the other, or you educate. I mean, can you imagine in the education? So let's imagine you went to the school, and your 7 or 8, 10-year-old is being educated to. Well, I guess even with white kids, they're teaching white kids that kind of hate themselves.
Because see, it's
for real.
Racism.
That's crazy.
It says
CTR?
Yeah. CRT, intellectual
CRT.
movement and loosely organized framework of legal analysis based on the premise that race is not a natural grounded feature.
Let me call one of my guys if he can get on the phone.
So it's racial.
Okay.
But like you said, it's a theory. So it's a theory.
Okay, and we mentioned we'll come back to that. Okay, but
I'm gonna text somebody see if they gonna call in.
See if call in. Okay, okay. Ram ejected from PTA tournament because he tested positive for COVID-19. Golfer John Rahm was cruising towards a $1.7 million win until his positive COVID test. Okay, the Spaniard was forced to withdraw from the Memorial with a 6-shot lead and a clear path toward a lucrative prize.
Wow, did you know about that?
I did not know about that. Hold on, and I would have a real issue with that.
He was asymptomatic, meaning that he
didn't know.
Didn't know he had it, and then you don't even know if the test really
is accurate.
And then, so this man is
winning,
cruising,
and has to pull out because of he's contracted or he has signs of COVID.
No, I guess the test took a day or two into the tournament. That day before it came back.
Can you? Okay, well, here's the thing. So you could be disqualified from anything if you say you got a positive COVID-19 test.
Well, let's
disqualified from work
let's throw some more seasoning in the gumbo.
Okay.
You're gonna tell me that with all this wonderful basketball being played, that nobody
wonderful. Okay, yeah.
In the NBA, we got some good ball being played.
Some good ball being.
Oh yeah, we got some good ball being played because these boys are hungry.
They're hungry.
LeBron's not there, and they just Steph Curry. Like you got some.
LeBron's not there. Where's LeBron? Is he out with COVID?
He lost.
LeBron got COVID.
He was in town.
But I'm just saying, you telling me that? I mean, golf is still, to me, it's outside. It's an outside. It's an outside sport. I mean, it's not inside. Like
right.
I just want to know, like, and as we move, Larry, as we move back into the realm of just everything normal in the fall, are we gonna? I'm with COVID testing. I'm with it. I had it. I took a test. It came back positive. Are we in a place where COVID is finna rule the roost as we move forward?
COVID-19 has wait a minute, Ron. I'm looking. Speaking. Hold on. We're not going anywhere. Hold on. We're gonna stay on that topic, Ron. Ron, why do we not have Dr. Anthony Fauci's emails in our notes here?
Dr.
Fauci's email scandal. Fauci knew. When did Fauci know he was lying? The whole time, Fauci knew he was lying. Fauci was lying.
Bullet point, because people need to. I know you and I is talking, but bullet point for the people listening.
Yeah.
Number one.
Okay, Dr. Anthony Fauci was sending emails to multiple co-workers because he was sponsoring weed. See, he was in charge of writing a check and giving grants to entities who then in turn would pay the Wuhan lab to experiment on gain of functioning information and knowledge and tests for COVID-19 to see what it can be used for or how it can be used.
Wuhan.
In the Wuhan.
Fauci has connections with Wuhan.
Fauci had direct connections with Wuhan, the World Health Organization, and a whole bunch, and they've been emailing them.
Is this fake news, Larry? Is this fake news? Is this fake news?
Somebody calling it Fauci Gate.
Is Fauci Gate? Fauci Gate. Is this Fauci Gate?
Tell us about COVID-19 in America.
Is this Fauci Gate? Somebody call in and talk to me about Fauci Gate. 615-242-7760.
Possibly being engineered.
So Fauci knew. What is, hold on.
Gain of function. Say gain of function.
Gainer function.
Gain of function.
Gain of function.
Yes.
Gain of function. What is gain of function?
That is when they're experimenting. Call it, because I'm sure the people out there who are way more knowledgeable about science than I am, but who I've been reading and listening to, gain of function is the experimentation of this particular virus to see how it can be adapted, because it was an animal. This was an animal virus, and they tweaked the virus to where it would jump from animal to human, or how they could make it do that. So they had sick doctors in Wuhan coming out of the lab who contracted the virus. So and they knew this already, and they could have just shut this down way before all this got out of hand, and thousands of millions of people died around the world. This is a heck of a scandal. Heck of a.
And
yes.
We do know COVID.
Gain of function.
We do know COVID. It's real.
It's real. How did it get so real?
Gain of function.
Gain of function. And the experimenting how they can make this virus go from animal to human. You heard about the what do they call those, the swine flu?
Yeah,
it's probably something like that. Well, see, most animal viruses, they can't affect us like that. They cannot,
But this one did.
Because they did a
mutate. They altered it.
They altered it. They altered the DNA of the virus.
Larry, is this fake news?
This is paramount news.
Paramount
news.
That Fauci knew. Fauci Gate. Can we call it Fauci Gate?
Okay. But back to how we go ahead. How many emails?
2,000 emails a day show how little U.S. officials knew in the early days.
What? What is that?
That's CNBC right
there. That's garbage. There. Have you guys heard of FOIA?
Yeah.
FOIA. FOIA.
Yeah.
That's how we got his email. Freedom of Information Request by the Tom Fitton's people.
Okay.
Shout out to them. They are. Come on, hit me out. Freedom of Information. They are. It'll come to me in a minute. But they had to do a court request for the information, for the emails, and it's out there. But he knew what this was, and he was talking to other people who knew. So it's a scandal. But how did we get here? We got here. We were talking about the golfer who tested positive for COVID-19. And so what can be shut down with a positive test?
I hear you when you say that was an outside event, and for him to be ahead like that, I mean, that's hard to take.
Right? That's hard to sport. And in sports, you say we got basketball going on, NBA playoffs.
NBA playoffs. Also, we said that Julio Jones from the Atlanta Falcons, University of Alabama, Titan, Tennessee Titans.
You've got the. I think he may be one of the best receivers in the NFL, if not the.
That's what they're saying. That is what they're saying.
I wish he was a champ.
Go ahead. There's only
427760615.
There's only one ball, and it gets into the quarterback's hands, and he has to figure out what he's going to do with it. Here's the thing with superstars and celebrities, and I like Julio, and I think Julio is going to be a great addition. Ron, Larry, is there enough football to get it into Henry's hands, Julio's hands, and Brown's hands? That's a challenge.
I think it's easy challenge.
With who?
The Titans.
Is it?
Yeah.
If listen, here's the thing. You can't run a running back 25 times and then think you're gonna throw the ball 25 times.
You can't.
Our offense ain't built that way.
We gotta change the offense.
But then next
time, if you want to win,
I'm just saying.
Insinuating something about the quarterback.
It sounds like he is. Sounds he's the
quarterback. I'm saying this. You and I, we all know this because we 6 inches in a cloud of dust. That's what we grew up in, huh?
2 yards. 2 yards. George.
So do we have enough? Are we going to time management, the clock? A lot of things change when you bring another superstar on the field. And nobody, I'm going to say this, nobody in this era, common era, has dealt with the ego of superstars like Brady.
Tom, you can't look at Tom like everybody else.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Tom's special, man.
And Tom Brady made sure, and the offense was productive, and they had a great thing where he was and where he is now. And I just hope we can mimic what we need to do to make sure that we can win. And Larry, Andrew Patton, are you talking about Larry? I think Larry, we have a comment, but go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
Nashville Motors.
Big shout out.
Dickerson Pike, Nashville, Tennessee, the home of the $500 down payment. Their phone number is 615-262-9367. 615-262-9367. Nashville Motors. They also rent cars.
Cash rental. You don't have to have a major credit card. Wow. To get a high quality rental car. No major credit card required.
So many people are traveling now. Everybody's going to Florida, here, there, everywhere. People are trying to get away. They're coming off a year of being shut down, and people want to get out. People are shopping now. People are doing vacations. Larry, it's like a roaring
the vacations. And hold on. Speaking of vacation, Ron, vacation rentals are sky high. I saw that here. Summer rentals through the roof. High prices for vacation homes and cars. Yep. Man, have you tried to rent a car?
Oh yeah.
Man, y'all you used to rent a car $15 a day, or $19.
You know,
$19.
Yeah, we have a budget.
No, but if you was in a club, you could get easy tonight.
Those are $100.
Man, I was renting
100.
Yeah.
No, much more.
Really, more than $100.
I heard.
Yeah.
I was in a. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm speaking years ago. Years ago. No date on this. Man, you can rent the newest Mercedes for $40. You know, the newest Mercedes out, you can rent it for $40. Now
you had to get a week on that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep it for a week.
Yeah.
Might as well, you know. But now I know for sure, you know, so I don't know. I hope things get back to normal. Inflation, high food prices. And how much is gallon of gas right now?
It says here, you talk about the cost of inflation. From gas to eggs to coffee, Americans are paying more. It is what it is. That's what's going on. Across the board. Wood.
Have you priced a 2x4? Cornelius, have you priced? Are you building a new deck out there?
I'm not trying to build anything.
New resident. Let me tell you something right now. Right now, lumber I think is about 75% higher than what it was this time last year. 75%. I built a couple of a storage room. That was ridiculous.
What?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we gotta pay attention. Are you paying attention to your money? Are you watching your dollars?
Good question.
Speaking of money, watching dollars, Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin?
I don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about it.
Was it Ethereum? What's the other one, Ron?
Yes.
What's Ethereum?
We're familiar with those cryptocurrencies.
Talk about those crypto. Let's talk about some crypto.
Right now, Bitcoin is at 35,862.
When disaster strikes.
So it's low. If you look at the 1 month on Bitcoin, it has went from 58,000 to 35,000. So it's down. That's 40%. If you look at the 1 year of Bitcoin, it's down. It started off a year ago. You could have bought it at 10,000, and even today, it would have sold for 35,000. If you go on a year chart on that, so.
Oh, slow down. That's some numbers. People are listening, not watching you. So help me with this 10,000.
Okay, a year ago, pretty much today, you could have bought one Bitcoin variation thereof because you don't have to spend the total amount. You can buy $100 worth. So a year ago today, you could have bought it basically at $10,000. Today is worth that same 10,000 would be worth 35,000.
But it was as high as 60,000.
Yes.
Right. If you would have bought it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was as high as 60.
We got a call.
The high as 61,000.
Hey, go ahead, call it. Go ahead. Good. How you doing?
What's going on? This is my friend, my brother Chad White from Ohio. What's going on, sir?
Man, just trying to keep on grinding and fighting a good fight. That's about it. How y'all?
Doing good.
We're doing good, man. I'm glad you called Larry. He's been in some dialogue on the critical race theory
and other things. So, Dr. White, we want to give you about 2 minutes to help us unpack this critical race theory and how developmental or detrimental it will be in educational curriculum.
Okay, I am not an educator by training per se, but as a scholar, I do believe that critical race theory is essential as a theory. Mind you, it's a theory that stands critique and assessment and analysis to its veracity and its value. It's not etched in stone. It's not something that cannot be changed or mutated. But basically, what critical race theory does is it works as a tool to dismantle white supremacy, to dismantle hegemonic systems and structures that have.
Wait, take a break. Now, you made reference to white supremacy. Are you inferring that we live in a white supremacy?
I am inferring that white supremacy is alive and active and undergirded by the systems and structures and laws of America.
I totally disagree with you on that. We just had a two-term black president elected two terms, and his entire cabinet, if I'm not mistaken, was black. So were they tools of white supremacy?
I disagree that his entire cabinet was black because of the white vice president under a black president. But let's say this, that because a black president is not indicative of a lack of white supremacy. There's something called tokenism. Just because you are racist or white supremacist, even those who were enslaved had blacks that they put in high positions, and so for one person or a few positions, people to have positions of power influence within an environment or a culture is not indicative of a dynamic shift in that perspective or change in that culture. And so I believe that if we have 10 black presidents, maybe that can become a conversation. Maybe we can put some instructions in place that make that opportunity accessible to a number, many more black people. Then I believe we can move forward with that. But we live in a white supremacist society. So back to critical race theory. Critical race theory simply says, number one, that racism is inherent in the American system. That is interwoven into our laws, interwoven into our systems and our structures. That basically another racist person does not need to be born for 40 years.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, Doc. I'm gonna slow you down. I'm gonna slow you down for a second. All right, you got a strong argument for white supremacy, but I don't think that I think that the antidote for white supremacy is a flawed antidote in my opinion, and I say this because of this right here. Most American urban centers are ran by a good portion of black people. So if the system racism is real, then we got black people, a good portion of black people to blame for it, because they are reinforcing the system that's in place. Come on.
Define run by black people.
Every urban center, if they don't have a black mayor, the council members, the council, the city councils, the elected councils are mostly black people.
It is what goods do council members produce?
Obviously, they produce nothing because they are reinforcing what you're saying because they're in place. They don't do anything. They use.
I can't speak in a fatal swoop for every black politician, but I will say this: that we are clear that most politicians are puppets.
I agree with you.
To a higher power. Again, the issue becomes systems and structure. Now, let me say this: that if you have a black mayor, okay, in position, in a couple of black politicians, but you have a district attorney, all right, or a governor that works counterintuitive to what they're trying to do, you may make some progress, but you still have the same issues. And putting black people in power, putting black people in power from 1968, let's be generous in beneficence and say since 1968. Dr. King is still in 68 in the civil rights movement for the most part. Let's call it that, since 1968. Putting black people in power for 50 years as opposed to almost 400 years of enslavement, injustice, and Jim Crowism is almost a joke to suggest that that all of the structures that have been put in place can be overturned at that time. I mean, we're making progress, but how much progress really is being made and can be made under such systems? And let's not be ahistorical in our analysis of the situation, and don't put it in the context of 400 years of chattel slavery.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, your argument, I hear your argument, and it's great for debate. But one thing I didn't hear you say, and most scholars won't say, that you can have all the supremacy or non-supremacy you want to have, but if you have strong families, strong black families, nothing you do is going to have any effect or any positive effect on black America per se. Nothing at all. I don't care who's in charge. You can put black people in charge for 1,000 years. If you don't have strong families continuously, none of that means anything. Go ahead.
No argument from me. I believe that is essential. And that's why I believe the fight for social justice and for building beloved community and for those who have a Christian worldview, the kingdom of God. It's a multidimensional fight. It's not just politics. It's not just economics. It's not just education. It's not just access to medical care. It's a conglomeration of issues that needs to be dealt with in order to make this to make the Black community them access to resources and power to really participate in the
Hey, Doc, thank you, Doc, thank you so much.
Doc Chad White, Chad White, man, thank you, man.
Thank you for the dialogue. It's been great talking to you. We look forward to hearing back from you again, and we're always right here for you. Even we agree or disagree, it doesn't really matter. It's a great dialogue.
Right,
we appreciate it.
Doc White, man, I'm gonna call you later, man. I appreciate you, man.
Let me read one thing. Right here, it says that the critical race theorists believe that political liberalism was incapable of adequately addressing fundamental problems of injustice in American society. You see what I'm saying?
Slow down, say it again.
Excuse me?
Say it again.
Okay. Critical race theorists believe that political liberalism, which is what you're talking about, was incapable of adequately addressing fundamental problems of injustice in American society. And then it says, notwithstanding legislation and court rulings, like you were talking about Jim Crow and all that, advancing civil rights in the 1950s and 60s, because its emphasis on the equitable treatment under the law of all races, what they call colorblindness, rendered it capable of recognizing only the most overt and obvious racist practices, not those that were relatively indirect, subtle, systemic.
Okay.
And I just stop right there.
Okay.
You can see.
Right. Okay. Well, here's who we are. We're here. It's 2021, and we don't have a better. Systemic racism is a bunch of baloney, in my humble opinion, and I'm gonna stand by.
Well, I'm just saying now. I think we have it better probably than ever before. We've
had it great for a long time.
Yeah.
But what we have done, what's happened here is that we're being sold out, kind of sometimes from the inside out. From the inside out, we're being sold out, and if you don't have a strong family,
amen.
If you don't have a strong family. There's no, I'm sorry.
It starts with the individual. Then it goes to the family. Then it branches out.
Yeah, the family, the community.
Yes.
And that's how you grow and build. And I just, you can blame the system you want to, but if you don't clean your own house, if you don't clean your own house up, if you ain't got your house in order, and all that is nonsense. So critical race theory and miseducating kids or teaching black kids to hate white kids,
or teaching white kids to
hate themselves,
and teaching white kids to think they're better than black people. Period. And we know that's been taught.
Hold on. Give me 30 seconds. I need 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
I need 30 seconds.
That is how we give you, man.
And I said this last week or week before to somebody else. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. This is where I'm at.
I'm a hard worker.
I'm a hard worker myself. But this is where I'm at. See, y'all heard the term. Your mother and father told you this. Your grandmother said 2 wrongs will never make a right.
Never will.
2 wrongs you'll never get right. See, well, y'all did me wrong, so I'm gonna do y'all.
Is that in the Bible?
Come on now, y'all know it's true. If 2 wrongs will never make a right. What I'm saying, I'm saying if you mistreat your neighbor after you were mistreated, you're the bigger offender. That might be somewhere in the Bible, right? Come on, I don't know. It's serious.
The theme is.
It's serious. It's serious. Because you knew what it was to have been mistreated. You know what I mean?
We don't do rail for rail.
Yeah.
And then it turned into
evil. We got a caller.
Somebody said, I did that because when you did it, and then I wasn't even trying to do it, but I had to show.
Larry?
Yes, sir.
You always provoke me to call in.
Come on.
Two wrongs, true, don't make a right. But the playing field was never equitable.
Okay.
Oh, it's quiet up there?
No. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Playing field is not equitable. Was never equitable.
Okay.
I have to agree.
Well, okay, look, you know what? Great point, but I'm gonna top your point. I'm gonna top your point with this right here. And what? Hold on now. They said that the cream rises to the top. So I don't need it. I don't need an equal playing field. Just let me on the field. Let me on the field. Don't make it fair. Don't give me no even playing field. Yes, sir. Yes.
That dog won't hunt.
That dog won't hunt.
You have to make the playing field equitable.
Well, okay.
Well, why did Jackie Robinson have to win?
Yes.
Say that again.
That's good.
Repeat that.
He said, right.
And they were never invited to play with the white folks, and you know that.
Okay.
The playing field was never equitable.
Okay. So hold on. So hold on. Wait a minute. So today, in 2021, now we're all here together. What would you have us do to one another? How would you want? This is serious. I'm sorry. This is a serious question. We have our fun, but this is my point I'm making now. How should we move forward together? Huh? Did we lose? You there?
Spending like the white man does.
Your taxes. Okay.
Where the taxes are spent, I'm still up the creek without a paddle.
Okay.
No. Davidson County doesn't have a money problem. It has a management problem.
Woo! Hey, y'all agreeing? Hey, now we're talking. Now we're on the same page. We are on the same page right now. Nashville, Tennessee, the United States government does not have a revenue problem. We don't have no revenue problem. We have a people in charge. We have a management problem. We got a management problem. We got a spending problem. And until we get these things in order, see, they don't blame racists. They gonna say the cops were bad. Or this was wrong. Somebody said no. Yes, sir. I agree with you.
But you're not making it correctly.
Okay.
From the get-go.
We agree.
Get-go, we would have no problems now. Think about it.
Good morning, Evan.
If a black man could vote for one instead of 3/5 human, come on, man.
Hold on now. Hold on.
Statement times and all that, they disqualified the black vote. Period.
Now hold on. Now the serious business. Now hold on. We got to listen to all this. They don't really know what we're talking about. We're having a debate here, so hold on. So slow down. Now he just made a point about the 3/5 vote of a person. That had to be done. It had to be. No. I'm gonna tell you why. Listen. Repeat that.
Hold it down, Bobo. Okay, go ahead.
You can't hear.
Oh my goodness.
Tell us again. No. It was because of what?
Field was not equitable from the get-go. Period.
I wouldn't agree.
Okay, you guys know why they did the 3/5. You know why.
We understand. At first, this is what we were taught about the 3/5. Okay. Then we've gotten a greater understanding as to why they did what they did.
Had they not did the 3/5, slavery would
have run.
Slavery would have went on for another 30 or 40 years. It had to be done because they were saying they were using us as citizens, but we had no rights.
Right.
So they said you can't use all the people as citizens and you're not giving them rights.
the inequality in the playing field.
All right. Okay. Well.
No equity.
Hey.
I mean, it's true. He hammered it in, but
good call. Great
not
call.
even equitable today.
Great call.
Thank you, Carla. We'll see you next week, man. Thank you,
man. Thank you so much. Great call. And I wish the listening audience could have heard this full dialogue because we kind of juggling the board here, but great call.
Y'all agree on some things.
Yeah.
Management. We do have a management.
Terrible.
Travis.
I mean,
we're being terrorized.
What do you want to call it?
I call it tyranny.
Tyranny.
But yeah,
y'all know how the game goes in this country.
How the game goes.
It's a game. Huh?
Hey man, you know what? Have y'all heard about the Congressional Budget Office? Congressional Budget Office. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you 60 seconds if y'all allow me, guys. Bear with me. Okay, the Congressional Budget Office. If I'm not mistaken, I was listening to something. So if I'm flawed or anything's messed, y'all correct me. Okay. Congressional Budget Office. Okay, the government gives agencies and entities a budget every year, right, Ron?
Okay. Yeah.
So now, if your agency say you got a $100 million budget for your agency,
okay,
and you're coming up on the end of the fiscal year or whatever, and you haven't spent your full budget. A lot of these agencies go in and spend the money. They go all out to spend it. Hey, Chantel, good morning. They go all out to spend the money, so they get a bigger budget the next year, even though they need it and it needs the money.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, because they said that they're set up to keep growing, never to shrink. And that's the problem they have with Donald Trump. Donald Trump said this was the biggest problem. This is the end all be all with Donald Trump. He said it's too much waste. Y'all don't need to do all that. And when he started trying to rein them in, they came at Donald Trump and they said Donald Trump was racist, he was an agent, he was Russian, he's doing this, he's doing that. They still have Donald Trump. He's gone from office. They're trying to prosecute him right now in New York.
Get it.
I mean, that's a frightening prospect because, mind you, see that
what comes around.
Yeah,
goes around.
And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see clean. If you go, you got to have politics to run your country. But I see clean, honest. They don't go together. These two don't go with politics. Clean and honest don't really go together.
Speaking of clean and honest, what about those guys over there at Nashville Auto Repairs?
Clean and honest. That should be the name of Nashville Auto Repair. Over at 606 Festus Lane, Nashville, Tennessee 37210, or call them 615-839-4283. Nashville Auto Repair, minor repair or major repair. They can do it and do it quick. They don't waste any of your time.
Guys over there, if you want to get it done.
Yes. Ron, we didn't get to our top story. Back to our top story of the day.
We only got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. UFO news, Ron, Washington, D.C.
All right.
The blob?
It's a release that's coming out from our government. They're going to finally, once and for all, by the end of this month, let us know what they know, supposedly.
Yeah, right. If the media's telling you, believe about 10% of it. Anyway, the blob captured on distant fuzzy video by Navy pilots seems to skitter just above the ocean waves at improbable speeds with no discernible means of propulsion like rockets or wings or lift.
Wow.
Okay, Navy aviators quote, "Oh my gosh, man."
What did he say? Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, yeah. One aviator says to another as they laugh at the oddity. What is it? It's a bird, a plane, super drone, an extraterrestrial something. The U.S. government has been taking a hard look at unidentified flying objects like this one. A report summarizing what the U.S. knows. Oh, we got 1 minute, man. And unidentified environment. Oh, the reason they're telling us this right now, Ron, is because one of the guys who worked at the Pentagon did a Freedom of Information request and got it released. That's the reason they're telling us. They wouldn't even be telling us this now. And one of the employees not exposed them Because he ran it. What about that? They're gonna tell us almost nothing. They're gonna tell us no more what the news media are already showing you, but they're working hand in hand together.
Speaking of that, they're saying Jeff Bezos is gonna launch
Bezos
next month.
Bezos going
would you join that trip?
I would consider it. I would consider it, but I don't know that I want to go with Jeff. But I'd like to. I'd like to go out there. Yeah, I'd like to go. Yeah, okay. I'd like to get a look from on top. I'd like to get a look from the top, from top of the world, literally the top of the world. Hey guys, this has been To The Point Show. Thank you guys for listening in, tuning in, and we look forward to you guys listening in and tuning in and calling in next week. To The Point Show. See you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to The Point Show.
So once they get down to a time, Larry, you gonna take one of those trips?
I would take one.
I
I would take one.